What is going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is an app review. Haven't done one of these in a while. I'm excited to do them again because I love doing these kind of reviews. One I'm going to be doing is reviewing an app called Hokusai. Hopefully I pronounced that right. The purpose of this app is it allows you to take any music file or any song that you have synced to your device and is stored on your device, and it allows you to cut parts of it off so you can turn it into like a shorter audio file or especially ringtone files. So you can actually take parts of your song and put it into a one ringtone file, so that way you can set as your ringtone on your iPhone or your iOS devices in general for when FaceTime calls are coming in, phone calls are coming in. So that's the deal with this app, and I really like this app because it really defeats the purpose of having to use the voice memos app in your iOS device, and then you have to put it next to your speaker, make sure it's not too loud or too low, and then you email it to yourself or you sync it to your computer, then you change the file format. This does everything for you, and really all you have to do is once you're done making the file, you basically plug it up to your computer, move it to your computer or copy it to your computer, and then you can change the title to whatever title you want besides New Project 1 or New Project 2 to like the actual song name. Then you put it into the tone section in your iTunes library, hit the sync button, and then you got your ringtone right there. Alright, so without further ado, let's launch the app. This is a free download, and as you can see, I already got 2 projects already. I actually didn't even took those out yet, so I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to put this in landscape mode because that's how you're going to be creating your music file for your ringtone. And I'm going to put it like this. Now, I'm going to be plugging in a pair of headphones in order to listen to my own audio. Unfortunately, I cannot let you guys hear the audio that I'm listening to due to copyright, so I do apologize for that. But keep in mind, this is going to work whether you're listening to my audio or not, because you can listen to your own audio after you're done watching this video. But this is a really cool app. Alright, so let me show you the user interface right here. You have this button right here, which is basically like an edit button, and you can either delete your project. You can make an exact copy of your project, that's what duplicate is, and then export. I'm going to show you export at the end. And then you can hit add to create a new project, and you can either record, you can either paste something in there, and when you hit the create button, you can change like how you want the audio to sound. Import goes from your music library, and then you can even pick files from your Dropbox account. I'm going to be doing import, and as you can see, I already got a couple projects right here, more than a couple, believe it or not, and I'm going to go into my music library, and I already know what I'm going to pick, so I'm just going to scroll down to it, so just bear with me here. Alright, and that's it. Let it fetch from the music library, and then it'll start going into the project. And you just got to give it some time to import here. Alright, once it has been imported, then you got this scale right here popping up. That is your song, alright? And then, as you can see, you got the same options from before, and you have a settings button right here, and you can actually rename it if you want. But that's just renaming the song. Here, I'm going to hit rename. And yeah, you can only rename the song, but you can't rename the whole project. You have to do that when you're in iTunes or on your computer. Alright? And then you can go to My Documents to basically go back to all your projects you saved, and then you hit the play button right here, and it'll start playing the song. Now you see a little line right here, and it eventually goes around. Here, let me pause that. And you see that line right there? I'll make the line again. You can either insert something in that spot, or you can hit the play button, and it'll play from there. Now, this circular line you see here, that's basically like how far you're into the track already. So as you can see, I pressed it, which was about halfway there, and then as you can see, it shows the circle. You're halfway there already. Alright, now, how are you going to trim this? Well, you're going to double tap, and then you're basically going to scrub either to the left or right. And as you can see, it shows like the time you are on. When you're making your ringtone or your audio file, you want to memorize like the time you want to cut it or the time you want to trim it. Alright? So that way you can get it the way you like it. And I always suggest you cut the beginning, because once you cut the beginning, then it already decreases the time. And the maximum amount of time a ringtone can take is 30 seconds. So you want to start at the beginning, and then after that you just cut off from the end all the way down to 30 seconds at the beginning, and just go from there. Here, let me show you, because I feel like I kind of confused you guys a little bit there. I can do it, but explaining, it's okay. Alright, so as you can see, it's all highlighted blue, right? You're going to hit delete, and then it'll play from after making that trim. And as you can see, it did. Well, you can't hear the audio, but I'm hearing it now, and it got it to where I want it to. Alright, and I'm going to double tap it. Alright, and then I'm going to go to 30 seconds. Now, you can't go over 30 seconds even if it says like 37:49, but you can't get it exactly 30 seconds. If you can, that's great. So I also just do it like a little bit before 30 seconds, like 29 seconds is fine. Because if it's over 30 seconds, there I will show you in the export option. Alright, I'm going a little bit too fast here. And you can play your whole recording. I already know it's set. Alright, and then I'm going to hit My Documents. Then I'm going to hit this Edit button, as I showed you before. I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to hit Export. Alright, now, these are all your options right here. You can format these however you like. If you want to do it as a ringtone, you want to use the ringtone compressed option. Alright, and this option will not, will be like shaded if the track was too long. If it's too long, you basically have to trim it a little bit shorter, and that way it'll turn into ringtone compressed. That's why I did it for like 29 seconds. I would have liked it to be exactly 30 seconds, but I guess you can't get what you want all the time. Alright, and then you're going to hit done, and then you just give it some time to export it, and that's pretty much it. And as you can see, it is exporting right now. When you're importing the track, it usually takes some time. It may even take like a little over a minute. So that's why I kind of cut it right there. Alright, and that is basically it for this app. Now we're going to go to the computer to find my ringtones, and then we're going to change the name and put it into the tone section in iTunes. So let's get straight to the computer. Alright guys, now I apologize for showing you guys a clip that I actually recorded earlier through Windows Media Player. The audio wasn't recording as I was doing the screen capture. But anyway, once you connect your phone up to iTunes or your iOS device, whatever, you go into the app section, file sharing, find the app Hokusai, and then you're basically gonna find the file that you created on your device, and all you're gonna do is save it to your computer. So you're gonna highlight it. As you can see, that's the one right there that we did in the video, and I'm gonna hit save to and select where I want to save it, which is already there. I'm just gonna hit select folder right there, and now it should be saved right there. Then I'm gonna go into that folder and just try to look for it. So let's see, where is it? There it is. Alright, and now before I put it into iTunes, I'm gonna go to the original file and rename it. You don't have to do this. If you're fine with the name it is, then that's fine. But for me, I like to change it up, and I did my shortcut key right there. Control C was to copy and Control V was to paste. Gotta memorize those. And now what I'm gonna do is go back to my iTunes library, and I'm gonna be in the tone section. If you don't have the tone section enabled, you have to enable that in the settings in iTunes. Otherwise you won't be able to see it. So I'm gonna go back into my folder, and I'm gonna drag and drop, Alright, and look for it. There it is, right there. And now what I'm going to do is go back into my device, in my iPhone, and what I'm going to do is make sure that it syncs my ringtones, and then, like, it's set to sync my ringtones. After that, then I just hit the sync button, and that's it. As you can see, it'll sync all my ringtones that I have, and I'm going to hit the sync button. Done. And now, once that's finished, let's go back to the iPhone and look for our ringtone. Alright, so the computer stuff is done. Now all we have to do is go into settings, and then you scroll down to sounds, and then you scroll down to ringtone, and as you can see, that ringtone is right there. And I actually already checked to make sure before I filmed this, and that is the ringtone that we made in the video. Alright, so now going back to the app, what do I think about it? As I said before, it's very cool. And to be honest, I really like this app. I really like using this app to create my own ringtones without having to use the voice memos app, because what I usually do if I'm going to use the voice memo app, and I actually showed that process on my channel already, and you haven't checked that out already, go ahead and take a look to see how that process compares to this process. Alright? This app literally like saves you a ton of work. Because the voice memo app, I have to put that up next to my speaker and test the volume to make sure that it's not too loud and it's not too low on the noise. Make sure the meter doesn't go to the red side, otherwise it's going to create some static noise since it's too loud, and it's not going to sound good for your ringtone. And then I would have to sync up my device to the iTunes. Okay, that's kind of what I did with Hokusai right here, but the thing is, it saved me a lot of trouble from putting my speakers together to put my phone next to my speaker. And that might not seem like a bad thing. Maybe that's just like a little thing, but for me, I like to minimize as much work as I can as possible. Also, sometimes if syncing your device to iTunes doesn't work with the voice memos, then you have no choice but to email it to yourself. And you can only email voice memos to yourself as long as the file is not too big. If it's a voice memo that's like 5 minutes, you definitely can't email that to yourself. 30 seconds is fine, and that's what I try to keep it, because the ringtone is supposed to go up to 30 seconds. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Although there are some downfalls to this app, and there are just some things that I really haven't gotten used to yet with this app, and that is the scrubbing when I'm trying to trim my file. I would have preferred like some sort of button or some sort of dragger like below the sound waves right here, so that way I can actually just take that, drag it around. And sometimes, you know, once I let go of the screen, sometimes it'll drag a little bit backwards, sometimes it'll drag a little bit further than I would have liked it to. I would like it if I just take my finger off of the screen and it just leaves it the way it is. And I would also like where I can actually have some sort of bar to type in the exact time I wanted it to go all the way. So I can start from 0 seconds all the way to 30 seconds. I would like to put the start time 0 seconds and then the end time 30 seconds, and then just hit the delete button. That's it. And then do the same thing with the end. So, you know, I would have just preferred something like that. That's just me. Everybody's opinion is a little bit different, but for me, I think this app would have been a solid 5 if it had those kind of functionalities to make it easier for the user to create their own ringtone with whatever song they wish to use. But this is not a bad app, and because of that, on a 1 to 5 scale, I give this a solid 4.5. Alright? That extra half is missing because I just really haven't gotten used to, like, with the whole scrubbing thing. But hey, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I definitely do recommend this app. There will be a link in the description below. This is a free download in the iTunes App Store. Go ahead, download it, and then enjoy creating your ringtones. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BenISLGuy. Both same usernames. So subscribe for more videos if you want. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. You guys take care.